Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. You know how sometimes you really want to get your point across and make sure someone really understands what you're saying?
Absolutely. It's like you're trying to make a real connection.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into some super cool techniques for doing just that.
Oh, cool. I'm always up for learning new communication tips.
Me too. And get this, our source material for this deep dive is a motivational speaker, Vivek Bindra, who gives his talks in Hindi.
Whoa, Hindi. That's pretty interesting. I have to admit I don't speak the language.
Yeah.
How did you even come across this?
Well, you know, I love to explore different cultures and perspective, and I'd heard about Bindra and his incredible impact, so I thought, why not give it a shot?
So what's the takeaway? Even if it's in Hindi, there's got to be something universally applicable there, right?
Absolutely, and that's what I found so fascinating. Even though the language was different, the insights were so powerful and relevant to anyone who wants to improve their communication skills. Bindra lays out these 3 steps to impress and convince anyone.
3 steps. Okay, I'm all ears. What's the first one?
The first one is called Becoming a Connector Detector. I know, it's a pretty catchy name, right?
Yeah, connector detector. It definitely grabs your attention. So what's it all about? What exactly is a connector detector?
Well, I'm going to let our expert take the lead on explaining this one.
Okay, well, basically the idea is that everyone has these emotional connection points, these kind of triggers that really make them tick. And to truly connect with someone, you need to find those connectors.
Oh, okay, I see. So it's like you're trying to find the common ground, the shared understanding that allows you to build rapport, right?
Exactly. Bindra uses this analogy of a plug and socket.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just jam any plug into any socket, right?
Mm.
You need to find the right fit, the specific emotional socket that will make the connection.
Oh, I love that analogy. It's so simple but makes total sense. So how do we actually find those emotional sockets in real life?
Well, Bindra really stresses active listening and observation. It's about tuning in to what matters to the other person. What are their needs, their interests, their concerns?
So you're not just passively listening, you're actively trying to pick up on those subtle cues that reveal what makes them tick.
Exactly. Bindra even talks about understanding their dreams and fears, their anxieties and worries. You're looking for those emotional triggers that really resonate with them.
Wow, this is already so much more than just basic communication tips. It's like you're building a roadmap to someone's heart and mind. So let's say you've identified a few of these connectors. What's next? Do you just launch into your pitch?
Not quite. Bindra has this other really cool principle called repeat the connector.
Repeat the connector. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
He introduces this technique called parroting and paraphrasing.
Parroting, like actually repeating what someone says.
Yeah, but it's not just about mimicking their words. It's about showing that you're genuinely paying attention.
Uh,
For example, imagine someone tells you how excited they are about this new movie that's coming out. You can simply parrot back by saying, wow, that new movie does sound amazing.
Okay, I can see how that would make someone feel heard. So how is paraphrasing different?
With paraphrasing, you take it a step further. You're not just echoing their words, you're reflecting their meaning back to them in your own words. So if someone says, man, I find these motivational videos so inspiring, you might paraphrase by saying something like, so you really connect with the messages and energy in those videos then.
Oh, okay, I see the difference now. Parroting shows you're listening, while paraphrasing shows you're actually understanding.
Exactly. Both techniques are super effective in making the other person feel heard and understood, which is so key for building that connection. You're basically saying, hey, I get you.
This is really cool. So we've got identifying those connectors, then we've got repeating them to show we're tuned in. It feels like this applies to pretty much any interaction where you want to build rapport, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Bindra's approach is all about empathy and understanding, connecting on a human level, not just pushing your own agenda. Now, he doesn't stop there. He takes this whole idea of understanding even further with his next step, which is all about delving deeper into the person's world.
So we've made that initial connection and we're vibing. Now what? How do we really get to know this person on a deeper level?
Well, that's where Bindra's next step comes in. It's called RAPP analysis.
RAPP analysis. What's the RAPP stand for?
It stands for recreation, aspirations, profession, and problems.
Okay, so we're going deeper now. It's more than just those initial emotional triggers, right?
Right. Remember, we've already established that initial connection using those connectors. Now it's time to build on that foundation.
Yeah.
So you want to think about, what do they do for fun? You know, their recreation. What are they hoping to achieve? What are their aspirations?
I'm with you. And then their profession, right? What they do day to day. And then, of course, the problems they face.
Exactly. It's about understanding the person holistically, not just as a collection of emotional triggers, but as a whole person with a rich inner life.
It's like building a more complete picture, right?
Mm,
Seeing all the different facets of who they are and what makes them tick.
absolutely. And Bindra emphasizes that this goes beyond just gathering information. It's about developing genuine empathy. He actually draws a distinction between uh, deep empathy and basic sympathy.
Yeah, I think I see where you're going with this. Sympathy is more like, oh, I'm sorry you're going through that. But empathy is deeper, right? It's like actually trying to step into their shoes and understand their experience from their perspective.
Exactly. It's about feeling what they're feeling. And Bindra stresses that this deeper level of understanding is absolutely crucial for building that lasting influence.
Okay, I get that empathy is important, but how does doing the RAPP analysis help us get there?
Well, think about it. When you understand someone's recreation, what they do for fun, you get a glimpse into what brings them joy. You learn what recharges their batteries. And then their aspirations, those tell you about their hopes and dreams for the future.
Right. And then their profession can give you insights into their skills, their values, and maybe even some of their frustrations or the challenges they're facing.
And then, of course, understanding their problems gives you even more insights into their pain points and areas where they might need support. So by understanding all these aspects, you can connect with them on a way deeper level.
You can relate to their experiences, understand their motivations, and offer support that really resonates with them.
Exactly. And Bindra actually sometimes calls this nice analysis, too.
Nice analysis. Is that like a different way of saying the same thing?
It is. It stands for needs, interests, concerns, and expectations.
So same idea, just a different acronym.
Exactly. RAP-EP or NICE, the core principle is the same. To connect with someone authentically, you need to understand them on a deeper level.
Wow, I love how these concepts are all coming together. First, we've got becoming a connector detector, then repeating the connector to build rapport. Then we take this deeper dive into their world using RAPP or nice analysis and developing that empathy along the way. This is making me rethink how I approach conversations entirely. So we've built the connection, we've dug a little deeper, fostered some empathy. What's next? How do we make that truly lasting impact? The kind that really stays with someone.
Well, that brings us to Bindra's third and final step, building a lifetime impression.
A lifetime impression. Okay, I'm definitely hooked. What's the secret? How do we make a lifetime impression?
Well, this is where things get super interesting. Bindra actually draws a parallel to the Bhagavad Gita.
Well, wait a minute. The Bhagavad Gita, that ancient Indian scripture.
Yep, that's the one. He talks about how the Gita emphasizes the power of extreme experiences.
Extreme experiences. Like what's skydiving?
Well, think about it this way. The Gita talks about extreme joy, sorrow, heat, cold, honor, insult, those kinds of things.
Okay, yeah. Those intense experiences that kind of shake us to our core.
Exactly. They shape our thoughts and behaviors.
I see what you mean. Like those really intense moments in life tend to stick with us. But how do we translate that into everyday interactions? I can't exactly take my boss on a roller coaster to make a point.
Of course not. But it's about the principle behind it, right? It's about creating experiences that stand out from the mundane, moments that are memorable and meaningful.
Like going above and beyond in some way.
Exactly. Think about those moments in your life that have really stuck with you. Maybe someone did something unexpectedly kind for you, or you had this really genuine connection with a stranger. Those are the kinds of experiences that leave a lasting impact.
I'm really starting to see how all of Bindra's steps weave together. The first two are about understanding and connecting with someone, building rapport and empathy. And then this third step is about taking that connection and solidifying it with an experience that truly resonates.
Exactly. It's brilliant, isn't it?
It is. This is really making me think about how I interact with everyone in my life. It's not just about getting my point across. It's about building a genuine connection and making a positive impact on the people around me.
All right, so we're back. And I'm still thinking about this whole lifetime impression thing.
It's powerful stuff, right? It makes you really think about those interactions that have stuck with you over the years.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so to recap what we've learned from Vivek Bindra today, what would you say are the biggest takeaways?
Well, it all starts with becoming a connector detector, figuring out what really resonates with the other person, their hopes, their fears, their passions. We need to identify those emotional triggers that really make them tick. You know?
Yeah. Find that common ground. And once we've done that, Then we can use those connectors, right?
Exactly. And that's where parroting and paraphrasing come in, showing the other person that we're really listening and understanding their perspective.
Like we're on the same wavelength.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the third step, building that lifetime impression. That's where we take it to a whole other level by creating an experience that's truly memorable.
Right. Something that really sticks with them. And it doesn't have to be some grand gesture. Sometimes the simplest acts of kindness or generosity can have the most profound impact.
Like in Bindra's story about the young man who helped him with that flat tire.
Yeah, exactly. That story really highlights the power of going above and beyond for someone, even if it's just a small gesture. It can really leave a mark on their heart and mind.
So how can our listeners take all of this and use it in their own lives? Make it practical.
Well, I think the beauty of Bindra's approach is that it's so versatile. It applies to pretty much any interaction where we want to connect with someone on a deeper level, whether it's in our personal relationships or in our professional lives.
Yeah. It could be a coworker, a friend, a family member, even someone we just met.
It's about approaching every interaction with a sense of empathy and understanding.
And a willingness to go that extra mile to create a positive impact.
Absolutely. It's about making those connections that truly matter.
I don't know about you, but this whole conversation has really inspired me.
Me too. It's amazing how much we can learn from some, even if they speak a different language.
Right. Human connection really transcends language barriers. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Vivek Bindra's amazing insights, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. Think about someone in your life that you really want to connect with on a deeper level. Now ask yourself, how can I use these 3 steps, becoming a connector detector, repeating the connector, and building a lifetime impression to really strengthen that bond and create something truly special? It's about genuine connection, empathy, and leaving a mark on their heart. And that's all for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.